Okay, today I would like to review this book, Speed Demon, The Fascinating Games and Tragic Life of Chess Grandmaster Alexey Vyzhmanavin. I don't know, obviously, if I pronounce it right. Why is this book interesting? Yes, there are 70 games. Yes, there is this totally unknown grandmaster by today, I'm sorry to say. It seems he died very young, 39. Maybe battling alcoholism and depression, I don't know, obviously. But the games are very beautiful, and in my opinion, what this book is really giving you is a portrait of the 1990s in Moscow and how alive was the chess scene there. That's the part which is very interesting because here in US, I don't think we have this kind of live chess scene like them. Russians really love chess. It's like a sport like soccer, so it makes sense, right? The book has obviously some pictures of this great grandmaster. He has also some results, okay, tournament results at the end of the book. And of course, there are some games played between very top chess players that are very, very important in my opinion. Like Kramnik, Korchnoi, Anand. There is every important name you can imagine of. For today's review, I would like to show you the game 21 of the book. Alexey Vyzhmanavin, which was 2485, against Vasily Ivanchuk, 2475. This game was played in Tashkent in 1987, so imagine how long ago. d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5. So this is the Grunfeld opening, okay? e4, knight takes c3, b takes c3, bishop g7, bishop c4, c5, knight e2, castle, and castle. Obviously, this is not an opening repertoire book, so the author doesn't give you opening lines and a big detail analysis in the opening. Knight c6, bishop e3, bishop g4, winning, f3, knight a5, bishop d3, c takes d4, c takes d4, and bishop e6. Rook c1, bishop takes a2, and queen a4. And here there is a diagram. The author says, this line was often employed by the young Boris Spassky. White sacrifices a pawn, trying to exploit the a5 knight's poor position, and the fact that the a2 bishop would be attacked by the white forces, losing several tempi. Yeah, in fact, it went here, 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 and it's still attacked. Okay, so it's 3 tempi that piece has used. In the mid-1980s, the pawn sacrifice was somewhat overshadowed by more modern continuations, but in the two last USSR championship, Vistavia became the battlefield for 2 prominent theoreticians, Dolmatov and Gavrikov. Vyzhmanavin decided to follow in Dolmatov's step and didn't come unprepared. So that's interesting. So as we can see, normally you need to have a memory which is at least 15 moves long. Bishop e6. And it seems here the author says that in Cazorla 1998, Shirov twice drew against Kramnik after bishop b3. Okay, queen b4, b6, bishop g5, and f6, which conclusively showed that white could not get any advantage in this line. Okay, so this is bishop e6. d5, again another tempo, and now it's cutting off that bishop, right? Bishop d7, queen b4, b6. This b6 is considered a dubious move. After Vyzhmanavin win, the line became immensely popular. The combination of rook c1 and queen a4 occur in almost half of all the games with the ground defense. In the USSR Championship, Kasparov used 17 e6. So Kasparov played this move with black against Yusupov and Beliavsky, managing to hold both times. On the other hand, 17 b6 was almost never played again at the high level. So it seems again that you need to remember at least 70 moves, otherwise you could probably have a poor result, right? So Kasparov clearly tried to find the solution with this move because this is not working. But again, he just got a draw, they say, so not so good, right? f4. White seizes the center and locks down the Grunfeld bishop with e4, e5. Rook c8. Gavrikov's last attempt to revive this line was 18 e5, played in 1988. But despite the win, it was probably not enough to equalize. Okay, so rook c8. And now there is a novelty by Vyzhmanavin. So imagine, this is a novelty. We are at move 19. So yes, why do you need a book like this? Because it tells you a story of an opening. It tells you what you need to have in you to become that kind of player, that kind of grandmaster player, especially if you go to play in Russia. If you don't have clear the first 19 moves of this opening, maybe is not playable for you, right? Especially at this high level. So the move was knight c3. That's it. Vyzhmanavin novelty. Dolmatov played 19 bishop a6 instead. And here it gives a line in which the rooks are traded. But the rook trade makes black's defense easier, and opening play clearly wasn't the cause of Gavrikov's eventual loss. So, nice thing. And now it seems that the author says now black's pieces obviously start to suffocate. They don't have space because you can see that white has more space, so which means more activity. Knight b7, bishop a6, rook c7, e5, knight c5. And now another good move, bishop c4, and queen b8. The author has promised us many exercises during this book, so this is another plus of this book that you should have. Here it asks, what does black want now and how to stop it? So, what does black want now and how to stop it? So, the answer is, you can pause obviously the video and try to find yourself, but the answer is queen a3. White was fully prepared for the only sensible attempt by black, transferring the knight to c5, strengthening the center. Vyzhmanavin is ready to trade on c5 at any moment, and then storm the black king position with his pawn. So, what does black want now, and how to stop it? Okay, black already had the... okay. So he plays queen a3 because now he can finally take, probably. I don't know. Let's see what he says. Rook c8 and rook f d1. Now it seems there is a decisive mistake by Ivanchuk that plays rook f d8. So it seems the problem, do you see, the problem of rook f d8 is this square, f7, okay? And here it says the decisive mistake. Ivanchuk underestimates the threat to the f7 square and mistakenly removes the defending rook. The correct recipe for black is not obvious, but the attempt to break white center, even at the cost of an exchange, was in the spirit of a Grunfeld defense. So here it gives you the line that black should have played, bishop g4, okay? Then after this, g5. And then there will be bishop takes c5, rook takes c5, knight e4, g takes f4, knight takes c5, b takes c5, and let's see what it says. And the position is still unclear. For instance, d6 takes, and queen b4. Okay, this is clearly an interesting take, but but black has a bit double bishops, the bishop pair, and the bishop pair maybe is what can prevent that pawn from becoming another queen. I don't know. But, so was this bishop g4 really good? I don't know. I think I would like to analyze it too, maybe with an engine, and better understand what is the problem here. At the moment I'm going to pause the video for a second to bring back the position to what it was. Okay, so I brought back the position in which black played rook f d8. And I did it without using the diagram because I wanted to watch this game one more time to understand, because honestly all those moves by the bishop didn't make much sense. As you can see, it gave white a big space advantage. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense to me. Oh, let's see, however, no? What's going on. Bishop takes c5, exclamation point. Rook takes c5. And knight e4 and rook c7. It seems that rook c8 brings the loss of an important pawn, and so that's the reason it was not played. Okay, d6, e takes d6. And here there is a question of the author that says, what's the simplest way for white to win the game? The answer is, the Moscow player is tempted by the pretty tactic, which is bishop takes f7, a la Tal, obviously. But it seems that bishop takes f7 is not the right move. The right move was queen takes d6. Because the pin along the d file is deadly and the blow on f7 was still possible on the next move. So this was the move that white should have played. Instead he played bishop takes f7. Now there is king h8, which is good, because it seems it's the only move that rekindles the struggle. The offer here, it gives a big line with king takes f7. So let's see why king takes f7 is not right, because notice, this is move 28, the line finished at move 34, which means 6 moves, and it's a kind of big calculation, right? I don't know. So after king takes f7, rook takes c7, queen takes c7, and knight take d6 check. Now there are two possibilities, king f8 or king g8. I will just show you the main line, which is king g8. When you buy the book, you can watch for yourself king f8, okay? Okay, so black continue with rook c1, bishop c6, rook takes c6, queen takes c6, queen b3, check, king h8, and now there is knight f7, which leads to a well-known smooth mate pattern, right? The smooth mate is this. He plays this, tack. If he goes here, checkmate. If he goes here, the move is this. You take, and the game is over like this. Okay, hopla. And also the white king went down. Okay. In any case, this is the smooth checkmate. Now I will pause the video and bring the position back to what it was. Okay, I think I brought the position back correctly based on the diagram. So let's remember, here he played this, bishop takes f7, that is dubious, king h8, so he didn't take on f7 because things would really go bad. Knight takes d6, bishop g4, rook takes c7, queen takes c7, rook c1, because it's protected by the queen a3, queen e7, notice this, bishop a2, and bishop e6, which is a good move. Passive defense can say black. It seems rook f8 wasn't good, okay? Bishop takes e6, queen takes e6, and now there is a dubious move for white. Eventually try to find out what would you play if you were white, because that's a good thing, right? Try to be a little more active when you watch a game. White played queen take a7, but the right move was rook c7, okay? Now, queen takes a7, rook f8, and here there is a diagram and the question, what should white do now? Now let me give you the answer, which is different from what it was played in the game. But luckily, like always between humans, then black made a mistake. Because humans are not as strong defenders like computers. And sometimes when they are under pressure, for a while, they get tired, right? And so they make mistakes. So that's the real problem, okay? So here, the right move to win for white was this one, g3. Instead, in the game, he played rook f1. So let's see, g3, rook takes f4, amazing move, rook c7, queen d5, knight f7, rook takes f7, queen d1, king g2, queen d2, and this leads to a perpetual check. So that's the thing, he says. How? Because when it goes here, is this. Okay. So you see, sometimes, yeah, you have to analyze by yourself and find some moves, which is still good. Yeah. So I will bring the position back, okay? Okay, I think I brought the position correctly back into the right thing. So white played rook f1, and here there is another question. Can black save the game? The answer is Ivanchuk was in severe time trouble and immediately went for the combination he had prepared, missing his opponent's simple defensive idea. Instead, activating the queen led to a draw. He should have played queen b3. Okay? And the idea is that after rook f3, queen d5, queen e7, we now see a perpetual check, okay, queen c5, king f1, queen c1, king f2, rook takes f4, queen e8, bishop f8, rook takes f4, and queen takes f4. And so it seems here at this point, probably there is a perpetual check to avoid the checkmate. So this is the idea. Let's bring back the position. This time I should do it faster since it's just like this. Okay, so let's see if the position is correct. Yes, okay. So black could have saved the game. Instead, it played g5, which is a blunder. It's a blunder. f5, bishop takes e5. Obviously, here there is a tactic on this, and there's a checkmate. F takes e6, bishop d4, rook f2, rook takes f2. And black is threatening to give checkmate or a discover check that wins the queen check. But white can simply attack the bishop. Can you see it? Queen a4. And black resigned, or perhaps lost on time. Here there is a comment by Mikhail Krasenkov, that if I remember well is a Polish grandmaster. Vyzhmanavin played brilliantly in Tashkent. He is a superb positional player, capable of outplaying any opponent. Okay, and this is the end of this game. I hope you will eventually give a check of this book, Speed Demon, with the 70 games that are clearly exciting and which give you a portrait of Moscow chess life. Hope you will enjoy it.